guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about the newest MAC foundation that I got, and this is the MAC Studio Waterweight Foundation SPF 30 and I got this in the shade NC 30. And I just want to talk to you guys about this foundation. I've worn it a couple of times, is equal to 2 times before shooting this video. So I do have a couple of thoughts on this foundation. I know how long it lasts, I know where it fades from, and I know how it looks. But I wanted to wear it here on camera in front of y'all. And I've just realized that I do have quite a few MAC products with me that are new that I haven't really spoken about. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a lot of new MAC products that I have. Some of them I've worn and some of them I've not. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. I wear my foundation generally, I prime my skin with a primer, and I wanted to initially use my regular primer, but then I just realized that I have this sample of the MAC primer. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Base Lumiere Primer, and it's a very hydrating primer. My skin does feel nice and plump, and like I have done my skincare, and my skincare does tend to leave a glow on my face anyway. But then this primer is definitely giving me a nice glow, and it has left my skin feeling quite plump. And my pores, it hasn't really filled up. It's not a silicone based primer, I'm guessing. Now that I'm done with my primer, I'm going to start using this foundation. This foundation comes in a glass bottle with a pump dispenser. It says shake well before use, because it's a very liquid sort of consistency. It's not creamy, it's not moussey, it's not thick at all. It's really thin, like water weight. And it comes with a dropper. Did I say a pump before? So I took about 4 drops of this foundation. Before I get into the wear of this foundation, I want to tell you guys that I have got myself color matched at MAC, and I am an NC 35 in MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which is pretty much how, you know, other MAC foundations and all, I'm generally NC 35 in them. But in the Studio Waterweight, they gave me an NC 30. I got color matched to an NC 30 because the Studio Waterweight runs slightly darker than the rest of the foundations. So if you're an NC 35-ish, NC 32 to NC 35, get an NC 30. This I feel is still a little light for me, but NC 35 was really dark for me, and since it is so sheer, I can make it work. So like you can see, it comes in a very runny sort of a consistency, and I'm going to use my fingers to apply this foundation. I don't generally use fingers to apply any foundation, you know me. I'm really partial to my Real Technique sponge or my beauty blender. But I feel that since this foundation is so thin, the consistency is so thin, the beauty blender is just going to drink up all of this foundation, and it's just going to be a complete waste. And the brush does leave it slightly streaky. I mean, I use my Real Techniques brush, Expert Face Brush, which I really like. But I really like working this foundation into my skin with my fingers, because it leaves a very nice dewy finish and a very nice glow. And I don't really expect a lot of coverage from this foundation. Okay, so since this foundation is so light, it is going to give you sheer to medium coverage. So even if you build it up, it's going to just give you medium coverage. I took about 3-4 drops more of this foundation, and I'm applying quite a bit. Generally I don't apply so much, I just work in sections, but right now I'm just dotting it all over my face, and then I'm going to start blending it with my fingers. If you're looking at a nice sheer foundation that's going to even out your skin tone and give you a really nice glow throughout the day, then this is your best bet. And it comes with SPF 30, so it's pretty good, but that makes it a daytime foundation, because as you all know, SPF in a foundation tends to give you a flashback in flash photography. You can tell it has just evened out my skin tone slightly. It's given me just like the BB cream sort of a coverage. This foundation retails for about 3,300 rupees, which is slightly on the steeper side, considering even the MAC Studio Fix Fluid foundation comes for about 2,500 or 2,600 rupees. And but with that, you need to buy a pump, and that pump is for about 800 rupees more, so it comes up to 3,300 anyway. But if you don't want to buy the pump, the foundation bottle itself comes for about 2,500. So this is still a lot more than that one, about 800 rupees more than the MAC Studio Fix Fluid, which gives you great coverage. But these two are completely different foundations. They give you completely different things. I am somebody who has really dehydrated skin this summer especially, and this foundation just sits on my face. It's the lightest foundation I've ever applied. I don't even feel like I have any foundation or any makeup on my face. It feels like skincare right now. It just feels like I have some moisturizer on, that's it. It doesn't even feel like I have any foundation on. But I'm going to get into the rest of my makeup. So because this foundation is so lightweight and sheer weight, I wanted to try full coverage concealer, and I ended up getting a highlighting concealer. So this shade might be a little off, but since it's a MAC concealer, I'm just going to roll with it, and you know, for the purpose of this video, just use it. I got the MAC Prolongwear Concealer, and I got this in the shade NC30 as well, because I wanted a highlighting concealer for my Huda foundation. And if you've seen me do my Huda Beauty foundation wear test in first impressions, you know that it was really yellow on me. So I wanted to get a nice highlighting concealer, like in a much lighter banana sort of a color that would brighten my under eyes and not make that entire thing look very sallow. So I'm just going to use this with my fingers as well. And this is a great concealer, and this is absolutely like full coverage and really great. Like you can tell, it's really light for me. I got this mainly for that foundation, but since it's MAC, I'm using it over here, and I feel like I'm repeating myself too much, so I'm going to again mute this part out and switch on the AC and talk to you guys after I do my concealer. So as you can tell that this is a very high full coverage sort of a concealer. I've just used one pump to apply and reapply under both my eyes and do my entire face. I applied concealer in every place that I normally do, and this is a full coverage concealer. Next, I'm just going to powder all of this and set it in place, and for that I'm going to use my trusted and absolutely favorite MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural, and I have this in the shade Medium Plus. I'm using this because this is the only MAC powder that I have. Honestly, this is the only MAC powder that I purchase and repurchase all the time. But I've also read on Karen's Makeup and Beauty blog that this powder and this foundation are like a match made in heaven. They give a fantastic finish. I mean, this is a very nice powder that, you know, it's a very nice light mineral powder that gives you just like a blurred effect on your skin. It makes it look really nice and soft. Plus the foundation does the same thing. So this powder is not going to flatten out the foundation's finish. It's just going to elevate it, if not anything else. So I'm just going to set everything with this powder, and I've taken this on the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush because that's the only brush I had lying around over here. As you can tell, this foundation plus this powder, it's just given me a very nice effect, like a skin-like look. It's not really, you know, given me a very cakey appearance, and it's not really covered a lot of my dark spots over here on my skin, and everything's just, you can see everything. But I really love this finish. This is giving me a very real and natural, just a polished version of myself sort of a look. So I love that. I'm now going to go do my brows off camera because I don't have a MAC brow product. I should have done that. I'm so sorry. So other than brows, everything else is a MAC product that I'm going to use over here, and I'm going to come back soon. I know I've already put on powder, and this probably goes against most makeup rules, but I'm going to wear a cream highlighter on top of powder, and I'm going to wear my MAC Hush. You have seen me wear this in a very recent video, but it's a fairly new highlighter, plus it's MAC, so I want to do that. And the best part about this highlighter is that I can wear it even on top of a powder. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of it, and I'm going to pat it on my cheekbones. And I like doing this with my fingers as well because I feel like the warmth of my fingers really blends it out really fast. Because it's a cream product, it melts very fast under the warmth of my fingers. So I just did a very tiny bit of that, and I'm going to layer it with another, like a powder highlighter, but later. So now I'm going to wear some bronzer, and I'm going to wear the MAC bronzer in Give Me Sun. You might have seen a lot of these products from my MAC haul that I've done a couple of weeks ago, and if not, I'm going to link that over here somewhere or in the description box as well, so you can see that. Give Me Sun is a very pretty bronzer. It's a MAC Mineralize Skinfinish bronzer. It comes in the same packaging as the new MAC Mineralize Skinfinish Natural, so it's a little confusing. But Give Me Sun is an orangey sort of a bronzer on me, so a little goes a long way. If you overdo with this you will end up looking like an Oompa Loompa, so be warned. I really don't know how many skin tones this is going to suit, but it's a warm tone bronzer. It's not a cool toned bronzer at all. It's just going to give you sun, that's it. It's not going to give you a lot of shade. It's going to give you a warm glow, and because of the Mineralize Skinfinish natural formula, it gives you a very nice skin like finish, so that's fantastic. For blush, I'm going to use the MAC Mineralize blush, Extra Dimension blush in the shade Rosy Cheeks. I really like blushes with sheens nowadays instead of a flat matte blush. So this blush does have a sheen, and it's just going to, it's looking really crazy bright here in the camera. It's not like, it is bright, but it's not like that bright. But can you tell the sheen? And it's just going to give me a very nice skin like glow, and I'm not going to overdo this blush because it's very easy to. So I'm just going to take it on my Real Techniques blush brush. It's a nice fluffy tulip shaped brush, and I'm just going to pop it on the apples of my cheeks, some on my nose, on areas that I normally blush at if I ever do. I'm going to take some on my temples, some here, okay, some on my forehead, and some on my chin. Now that I've sufficiently overdone the blush and I look like an Oompa Loompa, I'm going to move on to highlighter. And this is the MAC Extra Dimension highlighter in the shade Oh Darling. And I've been so excited to get this highlighter. Look at the reflex. I was about to say reflection. Look at the reflex of this highlighter, you guys. And I was so excited. Ever since I got it, I wanted to try it out, but I haven't. And this is the first time I'm trying it out. So that's my first swipe into this highlighter. Moment of truth, you guys. Moment of truth. Can you see that? So my face is pretty much done. I'm going to move on to my eyes, and I'm going to keep my eyes fairly simple. I am going to go in with the same bronzer that I've worn on my face, that is Give Me Sun, and I'm going to take that on with this fluffy brush into my crease, and then I'm going to smoke all of that out with a darker matte brown eyeshadow, and this is called Swiss Chocolate. It's a matte brown eyeshadow, and this is also from MAC. With a smaller blending brush, I'm going to take the darker brown eyeshadow, and I'm just going to put it in my outer corners. So I finished it off with some highlighter, the same Oh Darling highlighter in my inner corners, and I tight lined with my MAC Superfly Technakohl eyeliner kajal. So I tight lined and I smudged out a little bit on my outer corners of my upper eyelid, on my eyelid, and slightly on my lower lash line as well. For mascara, I'm going to use the MAC in Extreme Dimension 3D Black Mascara. I have used this in the past and I didn't like it, and I'm only using this right now because I said it's a full face of MAC. Otherwise I have some new mascaras that I want to try out, so I would have used something else. Oh my god, I now know why they say that your first impression shouldn't be your last impression. Because the first time I used this mascara, I absolutely hated it. I didn't like it at all. And I remember saying that on camera. But this is the second time I've used this mascara, and I wasn't really thrilled about using this mascara. It's just one coat, and you can already see the difference it has made. I mean, my lashes look like really long and feathery, and it looks fantastic. I'm just going to do another coat and see how it looks. And I really like the wand of this mascara. The wand is fantastic. It's this really nice long wand and has a nice round tip wherein I can get into the innermost corners as well and the outer corners as well with ease, because I have really small eyes. Otherwise it's difficult with fat wanded mascaras for me. And last but not the least, I'm going to do my lips, and for my lips I'm going to use MAC Mocha, keeping in with the warm theme. And I did want something nice and neutral but warm, so Mocha it is. Mocha is a satin formula, which is one of my favorite MAC formulas. Yeah, the look is complete. I really like the way it looks. I really like the way my skin looks. I love the foundation. I really love the finish it's given my skin. This foundation does last like around 6 hours at the max. If you don't set your foundation with powder, it's definitely going to go away a lot quicker. But you know what, it fades really evenly and nicely, so you don't really, it doesn't go off in patches and it doesn't look odd. And because it blends so well into your skin, it just, even if it fades, it doesn't really look stark, you know, it doesn't really go off from a certain place where you can totally tell, oh, foundation's not applied there. And yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Comment and share this video with your family and friends, because that's going to help me a lot. And yeah, that is about it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.